Hey, for those of you who don't know, YouTube has a new membership option. I've rejuvenated the features there. You get badges next to your name in the comments. You get to be featured on Rockfeed, participating in a weekly Q&A, submitting questions, and also get to see all sorts of stupid behind-the-scenes content. And I'm also going to be reviewing bands. Check it out in the link of the description, and you'll be directly supporting the channel. Thanks. The year was 2000. Limp Bizkit was on fire. They were on top of the world. Fred Durst had been appointed as the vice president of Interscope Records. Nu metal was out in full force. He was signing and discovering artists like the band Stained, Puddle of Mud, numerous other artists. But he was also collaborating with other musicians. He was writing with other musicians, things like that. And apparently he teamed up with Mr. Eddie Van Halen, the guitar legend himself, of the same name for his band, when things took a very, very nasty turn. And Eddie Van Halen actually threatened Fred with a gun over a dispute about his gear. This according to an author and photographer, Andrew Bennett, who wrote this book about Eruption in the Canyon, 212 Days and Nights with the Genius of Eddie Van Halen, an inside look at his life and career. So this book says that they were introduced to each other. Fred and Eddie became friends. They were introduced after Wes Borland had quit Limp Bizkit at the time, and they were looking for a replacement in the band. How cool would that have been if Eddie had joined the group? A record label executive then suggested that they work together, and Durst responded, "That would be hilarious. The greatest guitar player ever plays with the worst band ever." Van Halen said, "F it, let's jam." So they got together in Beverly Hills, but Eddie says he was unhappy that Durst was smoking marijuana and left without his guitar and amps, describing it as like being a scholar amongst kindergartners. They say that he was unable to get in contact with Fred for 24 hours afterward because he abruptly left and he couldn't go back and get his gear. So he decided to take matters into his own hand, driving to Fred Durst's house in an assault vehicle that he had purchased at a military auction. He continues, he got out wearing no shirt, his hair in a samurai bun on top of his head, his jeans held up with a strand of rope, and combat boots held together by duct tape, and he had a gun in his hand. That asshole answered the door, Bennett quotes Van Halen in the book. I put my gun to that stupid f***ing red hat of his, and I said, "Where's my shit, motherfucker?" The guy just turned to one of his employees and starts yelling to him to grab my shit. Eddie Van Halen stood on the front lawn of a residential home in Beverly Hills in broad daylight, smoking a cigarette while holding a gun to Fred Durst's head as he went back and forth from the house to the assault vehicle, lugging amps and guitars. Now, it's worth noting that Van Halen was dissatisfied with his relationship with the author of this book and actually took him to court previously. At this point, this story's been out for a few days. It remains to be seen if Eddie Van Halen is disputing this. Fred also hasn't weighed in. I'd love to hear his thoughts on both. I'm a huge fan of both bands. So what a crazy story, and thankfully nobody got hurt, but holy shit, that is a piece of heavy metal history there that will go down in the books, no doubt about it. Anyways, that is all for now. Thanks so much for joining us today at Rockfeed. If you're new here, you can subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on breaking news and updates. We're also wherever your favorite podcasts are consumed. You can check us out there too. Thanks.